I like to eat at lots of restaurants. Hey, what's up guys? Josh Edwards here, and I'm coming to you. I want to bring you just a little bit of an encouragement to encourage people who work at restaurants and coffee shops and going in and sharing the gospel at a restaurant. You guys, I just say this straight up. It's amazing. Over the last 2 years, we have seen a lot of good stuff, but we've also seen the ugliness really sweep our nation, especially in the area of the food service industry. Man, we've seen thousands around the nation of small businesses and restaurants and coffee shops and just these little kind of bougie places all over have to shut down because they just haven't had the business. And so a lot of these business owners, a lot of these restaurant workers, servers, hosts and hostess, these guys, they're struggling. And so what I've been doing, y'all, is I've actually been going to a lot of restaurants. As you can tell, I like to eat food, but what's so fun is these guys are practicing the gift of hospitality. But what's so cool is you come in with the gift of hospitality. You're kind of coming into Applebee's or McDonald's or Starbucks or wherever you like to go eat and get coffee or whatever. And what's so cool is I like to take groups of people, maybe 4, 5, 6 people, and we sit around the table. And as the server comes, they bring out our food, I just say this: hey, we're actually gonna pray for our food. We're just wondering how we can pray for you today. It's just kind of an easy access thing. Obviously be mindful of, these guys are busy and they're doing stuff around and serving lots of tables, but guys, if there's an open window, just go there, ask them how you could pray for them. Another thing that I've been trying out, and it's been super effective for the sake of the gospel going forth, is we like to take time and just say, hey, how would you like it? Would you be open if our table went around and gave you one encouraging word? And guys, it doesn't need to be super duper spiritual. It can just be really practical. It can be like, hey, Debbie at Perkins, thanks for the pancakes. You're awesome. You're really good at your job. Hey, I like your shoes. Hey, I like your hairnet. Hey, I like your mask. Hey, I like your gloves. It can be goofy and just kind of have fun with it. And what's so cool, guys, is we've done this at Applebee's and at all sorts of restaurants. We go around and we literally see these men and women just crumble because nobody is encouraging these guys. They're barely hanging on by a thread, of a lot of them. And so as you encourage them, you just begin to see their water level rise. And what's so fun is right after that, we like to go into the gospel. It's happened time after time over this last year and a half of COVID. And it's effective, you guys. If there's one thing this world is starving for right now, I really believe it's for encouragement. And so obviously, man, just be equipped with that idea of like, man, I can use encouragement as a tool for the gospel. And then what's really fun is we have these little wristbands and Bibles, and a lot of times we like to give them to the servers. A lot of times we actually wrap up a whole wad of cash in one of these little wristbands, and we write them a little note, or we write them a prophetic word or an encouragement. And what's so cool is I remember my wife, man, she went to a pub in a little county in Minnesota. This is a couple years ago, and they kept getting interrupted. They tried to share the gospel time after time after time, but people kept coming in and she was getting called left and right. They really couldn't get a word in edgewise. But then what happened was my wife wrapped up a $100 bill and she just left it on the table and wrote a little encouraging note. And then as they're leaving, this woman, she comes running out of the restaurant crying because she was so blessed by the tip, and she just grabbed my wife and she hugged her. And immediately she began opening up about her marriage that had just failed and her kids that were a mess. And this broken woman began to open up, and it was through the gift, you guys, of hospitality. It was through the gift of generosity. It's ironic. People who are giving their time and pouring out their gift as a server, you get to come in and serve them. And guys, Jesus said it like this. He says, if you want to be great in the kingdom, you got to be a servant of all. And he says, if you want to be first in the kingdom, one translation says you got to become like a slave. And so you guys, as we begin to serve servers, we will see atmospheres and cultures shift over restaurants. I remember being in Washington, D.C. at the Hard Rock Cafe, and there was this wonderful Muslim woman who was our server. She was the assistant manager, and she just kept circling back, and we kept pouring encouragement, and we kept praying for her. We just said, man, you're awesome. And she just said, there's something different about you guys. And she just stood there, and she was so blessed as we prayed for her. Called the bartender out, got to lay hands on them and pray for them. So guys, make the most of every opportunity you can when you go to a restaurant. I'm telling you, it probably will end up changing somebody's life. So be blessed to be a blessing. Serve those who serve. In Jesus' name. See ya.